Pura vida, and welcome to the jungle of Costa Rica. Now this is Hotel Barceló, one of the more expensive chains, actually a Spanish chain, here in San Jose, the capital. We're gonna try to escape the rainy season, because man, it's been raining here. Cats and dogs for days, floods are all over the country, bridges are blown out. So we've devised a plan on how to escape the rain. And as to where we go, well, that's gonna be a mystery for now. But let me just say, it has something to do with American history, rice and beans, and Rastaman. So join us on an adventure in Costa Rica, the country where it all started. Vámonos a la selva. Tenemos que salir y lanzar una aventura.
Claro, es una oportunidad para que Kelly conozca Costa Rica. Tú ya conoces, van a tener la bendición de Dios y todo va a salir bien.
This is my Costa Rican host mom, who's hosted me now 6 times in Costa Rica. Gracias, mamá.
Amén. Amén.
Never rented a car in Costa Rica. Gotta say I'm a bit nervous. So if you guys are wondering, we rented through Alamo Car. It was $140 for 3 days, full insurance. No way I'm risking not having full insurance in this country. I've heard horror stories, but I think we got a pretty good deal. This new highway system here is really nice. Mira la carretera. Let's leave the coffee lands and head for the banana lands. Oof. Man, we've had a lot of luck here in this cloud forest. It's not raining. Look at the roads, they're open. Usually this is just loaded with trucks. I've done this trip many times and it can be really sketchy. So we were told to actually do this early in the morning to get out of the rainy part of Costa Rica and head towards the Caribbean coast on time. That's called the Rio Sucio because the source of it is a volcano with copper and other minerals, so it's not actually dirty. And I've noticed that like Costa Rica seems to have cleaned up a lot. These used to be full of trash. Towns were full of trash, but it's quite clean. So good job, Costa Rica. I guess the pandemic changed a lot of things. But like this highway here wasn't always here. My host father said these type of highway systems didn't even exist. They were just mud trails. While Venezuela, where my girlfriend's from, she said her country was very advanced in the 20th century, especially the second half of the 20th century. You know, Caracas, Venezuela was teeming with life. Jobs were everywhere. There was a metro system, etc. It just shows you the level of advancement that existed in different countries in Latin America. And this country really just kind of depended on agriculture, on coffee, on bananas. And in order to get those bananas to the United States, well, obviously they had to construct a railroad or this highway here for all these trucks to pass. Pulled off to a little soda. ¿Te gusta el clima?
Bueno, se siente muy húmedo.
It's probably like 85. Rice and beans, pinto gallo, chicken, a stew, some sort of stir fry.
Hola.
El café y el desayuno.
De 1600, vale.
Oh, qué bueno.
¿Estás cerrero?
Costa Rica coffee, oh, so strong.
Cerrero, cuando el café está fuerte, dices está cerrero, como fuerte.
Bien cerrero.
Los platanitos están súper dulcitos. El quesito lo vamos a probar, que me gusta mucho.
The Costa Rican food's interesting because when Americans, like, or Canadians or whatever, Europeans first get here, they're like, you guys eat rice and beans for breakfast. Yes, they do. And after you eat it enough, you acquire that Costa Rican taste. You want more and more and more. And it's like one of those flavors I really miss living in Spain. Obviously, the food in Spain is incredible, but like that sabor Latino, it's another style. Another style. Enjoy it while you can.
We like a plantain and little sweet in your meal, you know? Salty, and sweet.
We're nearly at the coast, the same coast where Christopher Columbus discovered Costa Rica on his 4th voyage, his last voyage. And we have a little bit of history here. Some rundown railroad tracks. Now Costa Rica was so impoverished in the 17 and even the 1800s because they didn't learn how to exploit their bananas or the coffee, how they could transport it. They had to go to Punta Arenas and sail all the way around South America and go up to get it to Europe. Until, of course, the United Fruit Company came in here and developed railroad tracks. And who made the railroad tracks? Jamaicans, Chinese immigrants, and curiously, Italians.
Es el ferrocarril.
El ferrocarril y aún funciona.
Aún funciona, sí.
Y viene trenes de San José.
No, ya no. Llega hasta Guapiles.
A Guapiles.
Sí, ahora trabajan para una minadora. No, una minadora de hierro. Llega el barco aquí, lo descargan aquí, es como la bodega. Y aquí lo llevan a Guapiles.
Pero antiguamente venían muchos plátanos y bananos y café.
Cierto, de dole.
¿Tu trabajo puede ser peligroso o no? ¿Es tranquilo?
Normalmente sí es tranquilo.
Ajá.
Sí. No, peligroso no.
¿Esto es un revólver?
Sí, un 38.
Y es difícil como entrenar para hacer seguridad así.
Tiene que llevar un curso, va una semana, después va a la escuela de policías, hace un examen básico, digamos, después se hace el práctico, que va y dispara. No siempre se dispara, o sea, solo es cuando alguien...
Es más para prevención.
Sí.
So that security guy, just a young little guy with a gun there. This is the port city of the Caribbean. Why is it dangerous? Well, Costa Rica's had a record year for narco trafficking murders. As you can imagine, this is a point between the United States and Europe, obviously with cocoa being transported, cocaine from Colombia, Peru, Ecuador, etc. Yeah, things have gotten pretty rough around here, but if you just mind your own business and you're doing tourist stuff, obviously it's fine, but that's kind of been a big deal recently. These are the things that, like, when you travel in bus, back in the day, I used to travel in bus because I was broke. These are the things you can't see. Look at that old abandoned school bus there. Wow. This is how the locals live back here. Check this bridge out. Oh, there's the car. Wow. Woohoo. And the car has to wait for me. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Woohoo. Wow, wow, wee, wow. One time in Madrid, I met this Costa Rican girl. I was wearing my Costa Rica jersey, fresh. You know, my first day in Madrid. She says, pura vida. And she talked to me. So I showed her around the city, or we explored together. And then she called me. She's like, my sister's in Madrid. Can you show her around? I showed her sister around, and now, 4 years later, we're here. Check it out. ¿Cómo estás?
¿Todo bien? Hola.
Alegre de verte.
Gary. Pa, voy a presentarles a mi papá.
Ok, ¿es tu famoso papá?
Sí, ese es.
Buenos días. Elliot, yo conozco las dos hijas.
Esta playa no era muy visitada porque hay muchos árboles y maceta y es peligroso el agua también. Cuando empezamos a hacer esta isla, me entró la idea de que se va a poner bonito, porque después de cuando hace un wave, se pone el mar sereno. Entonces ahí empezamos, limpiamos todo.
Auri, ¿usted ayuda a manejar este negocio?
Sí. Cuando no estoy donde Taina ayudando en el negocio Taina, estoy aquí ayudando aquí. Aquí tienen fruta, pan, plátanos, salsas.
Y señor, ¿tu familia de niño trabajaba en bananos o exportación o...?
Mi papá era ferrocarrilero.
Ah, ok, ¿de verdad?
Sí.
Trabajó en ferrocarril muchos años.
All right, guys, we're gonna try this. Ceviche, this was with pulpo, ¿no?
Ajá. Camarón y pulpo.
El camarón sí, pero es de cultivo, no está prohibido la razón para ver si lo vuelven a...
Ah, qué sabroso el limón.
Para que no se
Menos impacto ambiental.
Wow. And actually, I'm a bit under the weather, so like you need these vitamins. Está bien para la resaca, ¿verdad?
Ah, claro.
Es de otra fruta que se llama fruta pan.
Oh, wow. Y también echas mayonesa, si quieres.
gusta así.
All right. Quito. Wow.
Sí hay, pero a esta hora, ajá, en la noche. Es
Atacan en la
Alright, guys.
tarde y en la mañana.
This is the
Ahorita
spicy.
por el viento ya están escondidos, seguro.
Por el sol no le gusta el sol.
Más que nada el viento.
El viento le
Mm.
O sea, es una amiga de nosotros y ella vive en Estados Unidos ahorita actualmente.
Ok.
Pero podría pasar, podría pedir la ubicación.
So good, even without salt.
A ver, estamos aquí.
Just so rich in flavor. So you can see like the people here live pretty healthy lifestyles in terms of their food. Wow. I'm like, guys, how much? They're like, no, don't pay, don't pay. Woo! Very nice. Finding Nemo. This is their property. And there's such a nice breeze up here. Look. Running water. Now this stuff you can't drink like we can in San Jose. Nice details.
Sí.
Check out the money in Costa Rica. Un monito.
Si ustedes lo
Okay.
siguen. Elliot, muchas gracias por
Ay,
haber
Gauri. Qué bueno.
Igual.
Te esperamos en España.
Sí, esperamos volver.
Her dad's gonna show us something. We only had a few minutes to stop by. But yeah, they have this little paradise here. This is awesome. It's much different than the Pacific. Much less developed. Estas son las cabañas que alquilas.
Aquí está área camping. Son 2 cabinitas, cocina compartida. Pues.
Qué bueno.
Más que nada para pasar el día aquí, vienen en cruceta, su familia, entonces
Sí.
pagan una cuota y tienen agua, servicios, luz, agua, parrilla. Para la habitación tiene aire y tele y cocina, salen 15,000 una persona,
Ok.
20,000 dos y 35,000 4
Ok.
personas.
We got more bananas. Maybe they'll be ready in a month or so. Señor, ¿cuánto tiempo para que maduren, para que lo corten?
Más o menos entre una semana, 15 días.
Una semana.
15.
Es enorme. It's bigger than my entire hand. Those chips earlier that we ate with ceviche come from this fruit. Ah, aguacate.
Avocado.
Qué grandote. Wow.
En la mata.
Oh. Hay comida de sobra aquí.
Ah, sí. Caña, tenemos caña. Allá teníamos café y cacao, no lo vieron allá.
Oh, okay.
Manzana y agua. Esto se hace grande y roja y rica.
Y lo comen así.
Sí.
My gringo ass is just dying from this humidity. Uf. Y cocos.
Pipa.
Yeah. Pipa fría, pipa fría.
Este se llama pipa porque es como para tomar.
Ajá.
El coco es un árbol parecido, más grande, que es para ya sacar la leche, coco,
Sí.
y comer el coco.
Como el
Son
marrón,
como...
el que tiene.
Well, here's those railroad tracks. Remember how I mentioned that the people who constructed these railroad tracks here, even the guy we just talked to, his father worked in this. They were Italian immigrants, Jamaican immigrants, or other Caribbean, Afro-Caribbean populations. And so it's only natural that basically 95% of the black population in Costa Rica lives here on the Caribbean side. They speak Patois, a dialect of English. Man, oh man, this city is bien dura. It's gritty. Infrastructure is quite poor. It would be a fun adventure to walk through here solo, but I got the lady with me, so no dangerous adventures for now. Wow, look at their fishing down there. I did not know this park here was 9 kilometers long. What I like about it though is it's donation based. So we just gave $10. It's almost like the Camino de Santiago, but on a tropical Caribbean beach. Wow. Yeah guys, I really like Costa Rica for this reason. Look at how empty the beaches are. As a kid going to Florida and seeing a palm tree for the first time, that was like what started all of this curiosity of the jungle. And so that's why I was always attracted to Costa Rica. Back in I think 2017 or 2018, I wanted to be a YouTuber because I was having these crazy adventures down here in Costa Rica, meeting locals or meeting a British pirate who brought me back to an island in Panama where we drank rum all night. But we still got our abuelo rum.
The cheapest rum in the world, matey. And the best rum in the world.
We're out on the island, Panama, no snow. Woo!
Straight rum. Ah. That's what real men do. That's what real men do.
Yeah. And I just go, wow, like no one's gonna believe these adventures I'm having. So I bought a GoPro 3 at the time, which was a big deal. The audio was horrible. So I actually came on one of these paths here and I was trying to make my first video. And I just like did not know how to talk to the camera, how to tell a story. One morning I ate a bunch of bananas, like, cause I had a slamming hangover. And so like, I was actually nervous to film my video. So I ate these bananas for the electrolytes and boom, I was like hiking on the beach here and I just puked up the bananas. That was my first video. I just puked up a bunch of bananas here. But then I recorded some more footage and I was able to use that B-roll at least to make a video about how traveling sort of saved my life and my story of coming to Costa Rica, Panama, and what it did to me and how it motivated me to, you know, work to travel. The problem is that you work, you save up, you travel, blow all the money, back to square one. That's not sustainable. It's very depressing, quite honestly. Fortunately, I found that job teaching English in Spain after I graduated. Everything changed from there. But even at that point in Spain, the goal wasn't to become a YouTuber. My goal was to live in Madrid for 1 year, hey guys, and improve my Spanish in order to come back to the United States and work a bilingual job. Because as you've seen, speaking 2 languages in the United States can really increase your chances of making a lot more money and culturally enrich your life. I mean, everything falls into place the way it's supposed to. You just gotta not give up. So it's kind of like full circle here in Costa Rica, but this time with my lovely girlfriend. Wow, I certainly didn't imagine that I'd bring a girlfriend here one day to a place like this. Uy. ¿Te quiere robar?
Sí.
Hay que tener cuidadito. Mira, mira.
Ay, ni me enjache porque no. 200. ¡Qué bárbaro!
Sin vergüenza.
Sin vergüenza.
¿Ustedes de dónde son?
De aquí, Costa Rica. Ella es de Limón, yo soy de Alajuela.
Qué bueno.
¿Ustedes de dónde son?
Yo soy gringo de Estados Unidos.
¿Gringo de Estados Unidos?
Yo soy de Venezuela.
¿Qué hay? ¿Otro gringo de otro lado?
Sí.
Nosotros somos gringos de España.
Sí.
Pues bienvenidos a Costa Rica. ¿Les ha
Sí,
gustado?
pura vida, muy pura vida. He's just chilling, man. He smoked that loud pack. He smoked that Costa Rican loud pack.
Los cocodrilos le tienen miedo a uno. O sea, ven gente y más bien se van, porque nosotros no los alimentamos.
Claro.
En Guanacaste, para atraer a los turistas, les echan pollo, les echan, entonces, claro.
He escuchado una vez que un cocodrilo comió un nicaragüense.
Hace poco, hace como 2 meses, a un borrachillo se mandó ahí al tárcoles y se lo comió.
Oof. Gotta watch out for the crocodiles. They eat people in Guanacaste in the northwest. I just remember coming here like years ago when I got to this jungle area where you have the shade behind and like just like that piece of the nature. No all-inclusive resorts, no crazy noises, literally just animals, monkeys swinging in the trees, raccoons, all of that whole feeling. I just thought to myself, man, I never want to leave here. I just wish time froze because, you know, going back to Wisconsin after being here in the month of January, imagine being here in January and then you go back to Wisconsin. Depressing. Hasta luego. Usted siendo de Limón, ¿hablas un poco de inglés patois? Yeah?
El criollo no lo manejo más el americano.
Okay, so you understand American English better.
Sí.
But like if I talk to you like, yeah man, what's up?
No, eso sí no lo manejo. Mi familia, es que digamos, yo nací en Punta Arenas, me crié acá. Pero mi familia, aunque mi abuelo es negro,
¿sí?
nunca me enseñó el criollo.
Bueno, entonces solo los mayores hablan esto.
Solo los mayores, sí, vieras que se está perdiendo un poco el criollo por acá.
Sí.
Aquí la gente anda con cadenas de oro, los anillos, en San José te arrancan la oreja.
Así
eso es lo que
y yo dije,
escuchamos.
pero si esto es de nada, esto no es nada.
No, ellos
se reconocen.
Sí, claro.
There's like 4 howler monkeys and they make the craziest noise ever. Like they howl and they're communicating with the other monkeys.
Le contesto, me dice.
Una tica en su elemento natural. Una tica en su elemento natural.
Así es como se comunican los mangos.
Está loca, ¿no? Está loca, está bien loca.
Usted la ve así flaca, toda linda y hace como un mono, no fiasto.
Wow, there's just a ton of construction here. All these new bridges being put in. This place has changed a lot. Look at that beautiful Caribbean. Puerto Viejo is where I always came because there was a hostel up here for $6 a night. The tent, it was a tent called the Rocking Jays. That's where I met my pirate friend Gordon. He's the one who brought me back to Panama and showed me how to cross the border. This is a real hippie town, you guys. The first time I got here, everybody was trying to sell me weed, and they all tried ripping me off like we're the worst weed ever for $20 a gram. Horrible. But you know, you live and you learn. Woo-hoo-hoo. Man, these back roads are adventure. The trees are so tall here. We have just a couple hours, maybe only an hour left of sunlight. We gotta take advantage. Okay. Check out the little village. Manzanillo. Oh. Caribbean side is way better than the Pacific, in my opinion. ¿Dónde podríamos meternos para echar un chapuzón? ¿Allá? Ahí. Vale. ¿No hay corriente peligroso?
No.
Vale. Gracias. Hola. One of the things you realize though is that the locals, they don't really have a lot to do around here. Obviously unemployment is pretty high. The one job that there is, besides agriculture, security, working at a few businesses in town, is tourism. So it's like paradise, of course, but maybe it's not paradise for everyone. You see how other people don't bring anything to the beach. We have a bag here. Fortunately, there's not a lot of valuables inside of it. Only like $20, but... ¿Estás feliz?
Calientita.
¿Qué tan feliz estás?
Mucho. Amor, está caliente.
Wow, you can see the bottom still. It's pretty shallow. Oh, whoa. First splash of Caribbean water for this camera. Oh, there's big rocks. Holy. All right, guys, first dip in the Caribbean. Oh, there's sharp rocks. Let's do it. Whew. First dip in 5 years. This is our own little private beach, basically.
Yeah.
Let's try out the camera underwater. Hopefully it doesn't break. Am I recording? Yes. Mediterranean is really cold in Malaga where we live. The Atlantic in Cadiz, very cold. The Pyrenees Mountains, freezing.